of exciting hockey games that come right down to the wire.
Sure. I'm in pain. I watched that finish tonight. It's JD Bunkis and Sam McKee. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at JD Bunkis at Sammy McKee. Hit the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube, and subscribe and review if you're listening on Spotify or iTunes. This was the true microcosm of the Toronto Maple Leafs experience tonight.
Yeah, I think they probably would have lost that game 3-0 if it wasn't for Austin Matthews. He scores the 3 goals, and that even gets him to overtime. Hated about 85 to 90% of that game from the Toronto Maple Leafs, other than maybe a 5 to 6 minute spurt in the second period when they scored the 3 goals while Austin scored the 3 goals. Mm-hmm. Yeah, like they get 2 points and they solidify more towards the playoff spot here, getting better, looking better. Nothing confirmed clearly, but yeah, like I don't know. I got a lot more negative notes than positive ones tonight. But
okay, let me just say this: it's just, dude. It's just so rinse repeat. They play their best game of the season, right? Just a simplified game, pucks in deep, win puck battles, play hard blue collar hockey. Don't give the other opponent just stupid chances, and they start on time and they do it all the right way. And the very next night, instead of rolling them, they get $22 million injected into the lineup, right? Boom, $22 million from the heavens. In John Tavares and Mitch Marner, who returned. Marner was good tonight. And then what do? They have a soft start. They start extremely poor. They do not show up for this hockey game. They make boneheaded error on the power play. Like, even by this season's standard, that one goes on the Mount Rushmore, right? Like,
oh yeah.
That's a Mount Rushmore moment for the Toronto Maple Leafs and the boneheaded plays of the season so far. And do they compete the rest of the way? No. What happens? The star of the team, the stud, the guy who scores all the goals, 45 in 51 games. He just decides, I'm going to change the game. Leafs find their legs because they go, hey, we can't just play this embarrassing after this guy just scored a goal. We got to put the try on. Bertuzzi has his signature, missed the net. Like, don't score a goal when you get a golden opportunity right after Matthews rips one. Matthews goes down, scores a couple of other goals. Leaf fans lose their mind. Everybody gushes about Matthews. Go to a third period, close the door, and then do stupid things and let your clearly inferior opponent back in the game. And at least they won this one in overtime with William Nylander during a skills competition. But it's just, if you and I were told, hey, write a script for a Leafs game, we might have written that exact script that I just outlined. We might have sat there. We would have been like Affleck and Damon, just like, what next? Oh, then they blow it, duh.
Make me a really smart hunk. That's a janitor.
Still the best joke.
In the first period, Borny texted me some fancy stats from whatever fancy website he uses that he's always on his computer looking at fancy stuff. But
they put him on the trade deadline board that 1 year stats guy, and ever since he's like, I guess this is who I am.
But he knows where to find him. He digs him up. He just gets him.
Yeah,
he texted me that the puck battle win percentage in that first period between the Leafs and the Flyers, 83.3% for the Flyers versus 16.7. And I texted him back. I'm like, that seems high for the Leafs, 16%. Like 100%. Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, the dorks upstairs really gave the Leafs a break on that one. Like, I didn't see them win one puck battle. I texted you this, or maybe it was you that I texted. I texted somebody that that team, for a team that the Flyers, for the Leafs who are coming out of the sick bay, is just a nightmare matchup. Like the guys who aren't that tired, aren't that skilled, but just are working harder than any team in the league. Like, that's got to be the hardest working team in the league. That team has to be playing harder for their coach than anyone I can think of. Like, they are not very talented at all. They clearly have some great players, but they just kind of remind me like the Kraken or something. They're a team full of second liners and third liners that are just trying way harder than everybody else. And like, I did have the moment throughout the game tonight, and where I'm like, that's kind of what a well-coached team looks like, where they're getting the best out of everybody that they can get. They are, they're disciplined. They're playing well defensively, and, they're not doing dumb things that are costing yourself the game. Like, those 2 penalties the Leafs took in the third period are just brain dead stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like Keefe's clearly pissed and he says mean things to them, but it's like the Flyers didn't do that. He did. Like, he's like, of course he's standing on the top rope screaming at him like Mr.
It was funny how you said it. It was just funny how you said it. He says mean things to them. I was like, yeah, he does.
Mr. Keefe up on the top step, making it seem like, oh, you're a bad boy, Noah Gregor. But it's like, it's a bit of a juxtaposition when I watch the Leafs, who have all this talent and like some of the best players in the league, and they make these boneheaded mistakes. And I watch the Flyers, who barely have any first line guys in their team, play harder than I've seen a team play. It's just, it makes you wonder, is all I'm saying.
So there's a couple things to this. One, that because you touched on a lot there. One is, I don't want to praise the Flyers too much because, I know they're hot right now and they're winning some hockey games and they're definitely punching way above their weight talent wise, but they're not that great of a team. Like they don't really have enough. They don't have enough game breakers. Although, God, I did hear a lot tonight that you can't get in a foot race with Owen Tippett. That was made very clear to me during the broadcast.
Was he fast? I didn't hear.
I don't think they mentioned it. I don't think that it was brought up at any point during that hockey game that you don't want to get in a foot race with Owen Tippett, apparently. But anyways, boy, outside of that, there's really not. There's this not a team that's chock full of talent. But I thought, man, the Flyers are just they remain true to the whole draft to the city's identity, draft to the hockey team's identity, and that's one thing the Leafs have just kind of never had is a core identity to a team. Like, what is a Toronto Maple Leafs team supposed to play like? Mostly bad. In our lifetimes, it's just like, hey, mostly bad, mostly crap. And with the Flyers, it's like you just watch Konechny and you go, oh man, that's so cool that they just love to go out and get guys that still play to the identity of the hockey club, play to the identity of Sweater. Two, though, is the Tortorella thing. I'm not the biggest Torts guy. I do think that
can't stand him.
No, and the worst is how he rips the media, and whenever he gets fired, he's like, "Oh, I'm just here for my media job," and then we keep doing whatever we can to.
And he comes to Toronto. He comes to Toronto this morning. He's just holding court, waxing poetic. He's like, "There's the problem with the game, These young kids." He was right, bang on. What he said, it's very right.
That being said, Torts loves dogs and the troops. And I get behind that big time.
Listen, I respect the guy. There's lots of people I don't like that I respect. He is at the top of that list.
I know. But there is how Babs is the fake tough guy, the fake disciplinarian. Torts has got a touch of that, but not nearly to the degree of a Babcock, obviously. But he is pressing all the right buttons this year. That guy that came out with the fake report that he tried to manufacture about why the trade ended up happening and how every time he buries him in the media, how he's saying all the right things publicly. I think he's done one hell of a job with this team. He would definitely be in the Jack Adams conversation for me. Like watching them play and seeing where they are in the standings, same spot as the Leafs. I think he's having a hell of a year. So anyway, that's all the credit I want to give to the Flyers because I hate them and I hate their fans. And I still think about Jeremy Roenick and that, I hate them.
I agree. Like they are sneaky up there for teams that I hate because of like the old wounds. Like those.
Oh, they're not sneaky for me. And I think their fans are like top tier scumbag fans. Wow. Like that's as dirty as it gets. All I picture is like a heavy set, big bald guy who drinks too many beers at the hockey game and tries to scrap somebody at the end and is just got his eyes glazed over, staring at you for the entire third period, yelling Flyers.
Philly fans are they're real fans. They're real fans, bud. They care.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Anyways, they can care their way out of town for all I care. Like I don't want them here. Anyway, all right. Let's talk about the big Leafs positive. Man, like what are you supposed to say about Matthews? He's the best at what he does. He snaps it in the back of the net. The first one's gorgeous. Nice play by Marner. Waits for him patiently, sets him up. But we've been talking about this a lot, how Matthews really been shooting low this season. Like when he gets time and space, these are the spots that he loves to pick. Is like, that's just gorgeous. Low shoot low glove, shoot it right through him.
I saw, I know you're going to love this, the start to this sentence, but I saw a TikTok recently about how guys, this is a trend now in the NHL that like low glove is one of the more popular spots. They talk about Reinhardt, who scored so many goals and they're shooting low glove. It's because it leaves way more room for error, right? Because if you shoot low, it's like, it makes a ton of sense. Because if you shoot it low, you're still getting it down on the pad and more net. You rebound. If you shoot and then you miss high, there's more net to miss. And how many goals has he scored Low Glove this year. It feels like that's been his go-to spot. And he tries to go 5-hole a lot. Like I remember when he first started, his high short side, he was scoring beautiful goals. Like I think back to a few of those ones he scored on Carey Price, coming down off the wing, going short side, posting in. Feels like he rarely ever does that anymore. It's just he's really adapted and figured out a way to beat goalies clean. But I love the Low Glove. The Low Glove is that's pretty nice.
Yeah, it's just it's just the evolution of shooters, right? It's guys adjusting to goaltenders where they've tried to take away the high glove, tried to take away high blocker, and now the shooters have said, "Okay, you guys are cheating. You're trying to take those spots. We get it now. You've been trained to do that. Now we're taking this new spot." By the way, I just want to say, like, I don't think Marner had a spectacular game overall. I do think that the 2 goals that he sets him up, it's like no wonder Matthews loves playing with him though. It's
they're on a pillow.
Pillows, like just like right where he wants them, right? Just perfect passes, both of them to Matthews in this one. But yeah, it's just nasty. I was really hoping that he was going to get the Joe Thornton hat trick. I had a big old tweet lined up with the 4 Roosters. I was like, oh, come on. I always root for the Joe Thornton hat trick so much.
Is that what is a turkey 4 strikes in a row in bowling, or is it 3 strikes in a row in bowling?
I gotta tell you, brother, you've seen me bowl. You know, I don't know.
you've never.
I'm just going for triple digits.
There's nowhere to bowl in Toronto anyway. Even if the boys wanted to go practice, it's like you gotta go to the ballroom or nowhere else.
I went to 5-pin bowling over the Christmas holidays. Took my whole family out. It was so cheap because you're in a small town and paid for everybody. I was like, things on me.
What a strikes the turkey. 3 strikes the turkey, according to Jobo, who's never had.
Why wouldn't 5 strikes be a turkey? That's what you do, the hand turkey. That's what I was basing it off of.
Anyways,
Jobo, sneaky bowling guy. It turns.
Who do you think you are? I am Jobo.
Anyway, it was a brilliant period for Matthews, and like, just guy puts the team on his back. I don't know what the percentage is offhand of the amount of goals he has of like this team's total this year. Here's my guess. It's higher than any other player on any other team. I think pretty simple guess.
I'd say that's safe. That's a safe guess by you.
Pretty safe guess that this guy is carrying them this year.
Yep, no question.
Anyway, you got anything else on Matthews?
No, 5 tricks. He's got 5 hat tricks already this year. 45 goals in 51 games. The crazy stat they brought up in the broadcast is that the all-time record is 10 by Gretz, and he did it twice. 10 hat tricks in a season 2 separate times is absurd. Like I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility here that we could get 1 or 2 more for Matthews, but 10 is crazy. No, like if he gets to 7 hat tricks, that's unbelievable, and he's still 3 back of Gretz. So and I also feel a little bit vindicated because I started the 50 and 50 conversation way too early, but we weren't that far off. Like, it's crazy that he got this close. 45 and 51 is insanely close. That's as close as you can get these days. It's crazy.
Yeah. No, it's an incredible feat, dude. He's had an unbelievable season shooting the puck.
Yeah.
And I think what to me is a little disappointing, I guess you saw it in the second period and at the beginning of the third, because that is when the Leafs played their best hockey, right? And it's pretty much the 8-minute mark of the second period onward to about the 8-minute mark in the third when they started taking the idiotic penalties 200 feet from their own net. Just brutal. Like, I didn't mind the Gregor one as much as I hated the Bertuzzi one, just because it's like, dude, be responsible for your stick there. Like, why are you swinging around? At least with Gregor, you're tied up in a scrum. That one to me kind of is whatever. It could go either way. I know it's a little unnecessary, but heat of the moment, you're tied up with a guy, you barely shoved them. I wasn't too pissed at that one. Yeah. I was more upset with the fact that the Leafs lost 4 or 5 board battle. Ask Borney what the board battle stat was on that
one shift. Well, first one is Nyes with a absolute flyby. Buddy, can somebody tell this guy he's 6'3", 210? Run through the guy.
You know what, though, man? This is what I hate is that he's a kid, and it's just,
I know
he's got too much expectations on his shoulders. He's top line guy.
You got to win that battle. Like, that's just, I agree. The puck's on your stick. You can't do a flyby there. Domi loses one. Goes out to the point. He loses 2. Domi had a couple tough plays tonight, including the one that set up the shorty where he loses it. He tries to dangle through 2 guys at the here. Look at this. If you're watching on Sportsnet Plus, that's
The not shooting on the net where
Yes.
he's got a wide open look and he tries to saucer it across. He lost a ton of it just
and he's gone here flying away. And then oh boy, that
play was genuinely all that reminded me of is kids hockey. Like Ennis's kid is playing hockey and he'll send me videos and it's like all the kids just chasing the puck and it's like, way to go, guys. You reverted all the way back to when you were 8 years old. Good job by everybody.
The old Burlington Bulldogs out there.
Oh wow, you name checked them. That's tough. Okay.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that was right.
Okay.
Still winless. Yeah. Anyways,
moving on.
To close the point on Matthews, I was trying to make though in a long-winded way is just simply, dude, the team goes as he goes. He really is the attitude to this team. Like when he's doing that and he's ripping pucks, you saw the Leafs got that temporary bolt. They got that boost of energy from Matthews and the way that he plays. And then it just fades. It's just, how do you not close that hockey game? It drives me crazy that there's not enough attention to detail. And I can't believe the other guys sleep at night watching 34 rip those pucks in the back of the net. And then a guy like Bertuzzi, who's getting all the money in the world and can't score a goal. And I'm defending night in, night out. Just can't.
Defense for tonight.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just, hey, take care of your stick. Or the other guys, hey, win a battle on the boards. Hey, pay attention to the details. So whatever, they won.
Like this is like, watch this shift if you're watching on Sportsnet Plus, like just bang, like losing them.
Yeah,
another one. They just bang, and then they lose net front presence. Anyways, I don't need to break it down for you. It's not pretty. No, can we talk about our favorite player?
I love him so much.
Oh my God, Simone Benoit hammered Cam York. Is that Cam York? Is that his name? Hammered him. Like this is as big a hit as they've had. Even in like it's up there with the McKee.
That's his spot.
It is his spot.
That's 100%. His sweet spot. When guys try to play around in that exact area, that's where he's just got it timed up perfectly.
Yeah.
Like it's genuinely video game stuff. Like
and he is terrified of Delorier. Delorier is a mutant. Like I can't believe he actually dropped the gloves. So much respect to him for dropping the glove with that guy.
The fact that he even was not just auto turtle against Delorier, he knows who that is.
Yeah,
like he sees him coming in, and that face is, holy crap! I forgot you were on the ice. Damn it! As if I threw my one hit while you're here.
Delorier is the type of guy that you can smell coming. That gear that gear doesn't smell good. That beard, like the look of him, you're like, this guy is a butcher. He is coming to murder me.
Looks straight out of Goon.
Oh yeah. And he just dropped Benoit. Like, and he's like, look at the eyes on that guy.
Yeah.
I actually think like
psycho.
You feel for old Revo. It's like you can't get in tonight when the other guy, that guy, like that of 5 guys he can fight in the league, he doesn't get into the game with the guy. It's like, wow, that's a tough one.
Do what McMahon did, score a hat trick.
Yeah, so you can't scratch old McMahon after a hattie, but I think after what Gregor did tonight with that penalty, and I think he could be heading towards Scratchville at some point here soon.
I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't be shocked. I think that, again, I hate saying this, but if it wasn't for the mono of Connor Timmins and the suspension, I think that it's Gio who's coming out.
Yeah. I mean, we were hard on Liljegren too, but I thought he made a good play in the overtime winner, obviously, where he skates straight north with no one in front of him and makes a pass with no one in front of him, and Nylander shoots it in the net. So give him credit for that one. He makes a good play to keep it in on one of Matthews' goals. So he did have a couple good plays, but I mean, there's just literally no one there. This is just a gimme. I'm not going to give him too much credit for that.
Also, he's lucky that it got to overtime because he was the guy that let someone get behind him at the end. Someone,
their best player. Yeah. Travis Konechny gets behind him, and it's not pretty. So they get 2 points. Like, I really do think watching this team that they're not that far off from being like a similar team clearly to like last year, where they just could add a couple guys and they could threaten in the playoffs. But it's just they don't. Watching Brody play on the left side makes me think that they can play him with a right-handed shot if they can get another guy to play with him. Like 1-2 defensemen, a couple depth forwards. Like, I really do think, but they just don't have and you see what everybody's asking for these trades, and it's just like, can they improve this squad? Like, is this what they is? Maybe if they are like a wild card team, it's better for them. They're just such a hard team to get a read on, man. Like I really don't know how to feel about them.
I do. I'm not confused at all. I'm total team Stan Pat, and if anything, I would not be buying anything. They're talking about Trey Living putting that first round pick on the table, and I would be in camp absolutely not. And the other thing too is everybody's talking about
it's hard with when you have these guys in their prime, and
who cares? Guess what?
I know.
Let them do it then. They I'm tired of the idea that the Leafs get every single like their core four. It's like, hey, we want all the money, but also we want all the draft picks too. We want all the draft picks so you get rentals around us every year because it's impossible to build a complete team. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah.
It's not going to work. It hasn't worked before. It's not going to work again. And how where has that gotten them? Using first round picks and second round picks, and it just, like dumping all these things. And then we go, oh, why do they only have 2 guys in the farm system of any acclaim? It's like, that's why.
Yeah.
Well, that's why they got to stop doing this. The cycle's got to end at some point. And it's fine when you got a team that actually looks the part, but these guys haven't looked it. So no, absolutely not to the first rounder for me, especially given what's out there and what the prices are like.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. Anything else from you?
Yeah, kills me. Konechny kills me.
Why? Because he's so awesome.
He's so good.
Yeah.
And it's like they traded back. I don't know who the hell did it. Mark Hunter was here. Lou was here. Kyle was here. Whoever the hell did that.
Yeah.
They should not have. That was like the ultimate like Belichick trade back and like you get 2 assets instead of 1. It's like you probably should have just taken this guy. Yeah. You get Dermott and it was Bracco was the other guy they drafted.
Woof.
It's like, oh, you mean the heart and soul Canadian guy that like cares more than anybody, and like it's just such an early, like if I'm honestly putting it on someone, it's an early Dubas move where it's like it's the type of thing that you get 2 kicks at the can as opposed to 1, and it's like a heart and soul guy. It's just such a misread, and this guy is just
stud.
His number is going to be like would be in the rafters if he played 15 years with the Leafs. Like he's such a heart and soul kind of guy. Everyone would adore him. They would probably sell the most Konechny jerseys of anyone, even with this like core, even with the core 4. Yeah, like he would be beloved. He is the man. And that play he has on Gio where he hooks him in the wiener and Gio takes a brutal dive. He's barking at him. He's in his grill. Doesn't back down from anyone. Like he is a heart and soul guy. Like he's a potential Team Canada guy, like in the future, like that kind of guy. He's just a really awesome hockey player that I wish was a Leaf very badly.
I'm just hoping that's what Easton Cowan is.
Yeah, that's okay.
When I see the highlights of Easton Cowan, it reminds me of him.
Yeah, Easton Cowan is legitimately the best player in the OHL. I think he's had like a 25 point game point streak. He's unstoppable. London Knights once again the best team in the league. Makes me want to barf.
Nothing funnier than that pick getting barbecued by all the draft nerds. And it's like, they took the kid who scored a bunch of clutch goals on the London Knights.
It's like probably shouldn't take the D lineman from Alabama. That's a bad idea.
Exactly.
Don't do that.
I don't pay attention to the draft all year round, but I feel like I could have. I didn't need to barbecue that one. Oh, the youngest guy in the London Knights scored a bunch of big goals in the playoffs, and he's named after a hockey stick. Oh yeah, no, bad pick.
If they're Alabama, I'm over here cheering for Old Miss, just getting barbecued every year. The attack, Old Miss going down there and thinking we got them this year.
So good.
Doesn't happen.
Funny. Anyways, we said it off the top. Subscribe to the podcast, leave 5 stars, do all those nice things. I'm off my show tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
What do you got?
For Kipper and Born?
Yeah. Anything to plug?
No, absolutely nothing.
By the way, I'm just gonna say I said it on my podcast today. I was trying to get PWHL tickets. Impossible. I tried pulling connections. That best I could do is got 1 free ticket offer. I went, that's crazy. Like one tick didn't sight unseen. Couldn't know where it was. It's incredible.
You didn't take it?
No, because I want to. Yeah, I want to go with another person.
Oh, I got a connection for 1 ticket. I might go.
Yeah,
we'll see.
Yeah, I looked at buying them.
Oh, it's insane.
Cost more to sit at that game than it did. I sat 9 rows back behind the Raptors bench for Fred VanVleet on a Friday.
Yeah,
and it's cheaper to sit there than just about anywhere in the 100 Bowl for the PWHL.
Man. It's really
shout out
crazy.
Natalie Spooner. Shout
Hottest in the league right now. Spoon's lighting it up for our Torontos.
Buddy.
Whatever. Our Torontos are crushing it.
She got snubbed from All-Star
God.
stuff.
I know.
City girl. And so they could, I don't even know who they threw in there. Anyway, good call.
I asked all the women I played with at Shinny on Sunday. I'm like, what happened there? I was looking for the tea, and apparently it was like a draft pick thing. Chrissy Rutherford did a big write-up about it. Like, it was like only, and I said, I was like, well, maybe you know what? Probably should have made an exception for Spoons. Probably should have got her in there.
Probably want to get the best goal scorer and most recognizable face outside of Poulin in the league, and Nurse.
Yeah,
at the All-Star game when it's the local story, and the one who has the most goals, who has 10 goals in 10 games, who has actually more goals in her last 3 than anybody else in the league has. So yeah, probably do that. Anyway, I'm stoked for this game. Montreal-Toronto rivalry night.
So are you gonna go?
I don't know if I'm gonna go, because we'll see. I can't. If I can get free tickets, I'm gonna go. I'm not paying those prices. Hell no. I'm not paying those prices for any sport. Like, that's crazy.
I wouldn't pay those prices for the Leafs.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's nuts. And yeah, you know me. I have bougie taste. I don't like to sit up I don't like to sit up with the commoners. I don't wanna,
oh my God, you've changed, bro.
I used to be a guy like, I like sitting up with 300s. You really see the game. Now I'm like, no thanks. I
want to smell the BO on the ice. That's how close I want to sit.
I had a pair of free Raps tickets for yesterday. I gave them to my producer. I was like, yeah, they're 300s. Take them. I was like, I'm not sitting there.
I wouldn't want to watch Scotty Barnes play live again anyway.
Yeah. Well, yeah. He was awesome yesterday. But anyways, all right.
I'll take your word for it.
Yeah, you did. I did. He was great. He had 29 points.
Okay, good for him.
All right. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Saturday night.